Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 94 of the Primetime Gorehounds. I'm Primetime Jay Thomas here with the Gorehound himself, Paul Burks, on this lovely Friday, July 12th, 2024, officially 6:03 Eastern Time over here in the U.S., Paul over in the U.K., watching the David Fincher 2007 classic Zodiac, the story of the infamous Zodiac killer. This should be a fun one, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Yes, indeed. Zodiac. Directed by the great David Fincher. Of course, if you don't know who David Fincher is, he has directed some of the greatest thrillers, investigative thrillers of our time. I mean, come on, he's done Seven, he's done The Game, he's done Gone Girl, he's done this, obviously. One of the great directors going right now. Fuck Alien 3.
Don't forget Fight Club. He did that one too.
And Fight Club. Of course, the Fight Club. Of course. Yeah. Fuck Alien 3, by the way. Not his fault.
I blame David Giller for that one.
Yes, yeah. I will never put that on David Fincher. Even David Fincher will agree with me on that. But yes, of course, Zodiac, the story of the Zodiac killer who terrorized San Francisco from the late 60s, early 70s. One of the more infamous cases of all time, because of course it's based on a true story, and the Zodiac killer was never found, even though Robert Graysmith, which is based off his book, this movie is, who was the lead investigator, really believes it was this one particular person, but DNA says otherwise. But he believes he's gonna take this shit to the grave.
Well, I don't know if
Allen did it.
I don't know if you saw the news article I found recently, but the FBI finally identified who the Zodiac killer was. The only problem is, he's been dead for 6 years.
Who?
It was a former Air Force pilot, dude. I sent you the link a few days ago in your chat box.
Paul, there's been so many theories and so many conspiracies about who the Zodiac killer is. Paul, there's been so many over the years. I saw that, Paul, and I'm like, are we sure about that?
Well, this
go ahead.
Let me put it this way. This Zodiac killer, he's as infamous as Jack the Ripper. Nobody knew who that was, although we can tell you it was a royal surgeon. A lot of people seem to speculate that, but it's just as infamous as that guy.
Yeah. I just, there's so many theories, conspiracies about who it could be or who it is. It's really hard to pick out. But as far as Robert Graysmith, the lead investigator, he believes to his core that was Arthur Lee Allen, which we'll get to this. We'll get to this film. But Paul, are you into David Fincher? Fan of his work, and how are you doing today?
Well, first of all, I'll say, yeah, I'm half dead and a sore neck after being in the mosh pit trying to take photos of this gig that was there today. But we had a good time. It was me and my mom and my sister having a blast. She went to her second metal concert. We went to see Warcrab, Pantheist, Atom Smasher, who won the recent Battle of Bloodstock. So they're going to be playing at the Bloodstock Festival. And there was another cool band as well. I forgot the fucking name, but they were pretty good to start off with. And crazy shit is, I got to do this all again tomorrow for another gig and photos. But yeah, I'm doing good. But as far as the whole David Fincher thing goes, yeah, I am a fan of his work. I've seen a few of the films that we have mentioned. Believe it or not, my first introduction to David Fincher was Alien 3 when I was a kid. And then I got to see films like Seven, which I fucking absolutely hold in high regard. Fight Club is another one of my favorites that he's done. And my other favorite Fincher movie that he did was his version of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But as this one goes, Zodiac. This is actually only my second time watching this movie. I watched it the first time when it first came out in the cinema back in 2007, and we saw the director's cut version that they released in the cinema, which was 20 minutes longer. So, but I remember when I first saw this movie, I was fascinated and intrigued by the level of detail that went into making this movie, and all the theories and the situations on who the killer might be, and who it could be and who it might not be. But yeah, I am someone who enjoys his work. Oh, don't forget Panic Room as well. I forgot to mention that one too. That's
and Panic Room, another great film. Another great film.
Yeah.
But yes. And of course, Zodiac stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, Anthony Edwards. A-list cast, absolutely. And this is a great film, great movie, and I'm ready to get this started. Now, of course, we are watching the original cut. We're not watching the director's cut. We're watching the theatrical cut. So we're watching the theatrical cut. I'm watching this on Prime. Paul, you watch this on Prime as well?
Yeah, I rented it on there too.
Okay, cool. It's about over 2.5 hours. So strap in because we're in for a ride. But it's a great ride, especially if you're into this type of stuff. So all right, so let's get this started. Okay, we're about 4 seconds in. I got the Paramount logo right in front of my face. Of course, you can watch along. Warner Brothers, okay, and you can watch alongside with us, whether on streaming, whether on DVD, not on VHS. Because I never had a VHS release, but yeah, let's go ahead and get this started, and then when are you sure you want to go through the consequences if you don't press play, Paul? How up are you on the Zodiac killer case?
I've seen a documentary or two a while back, so I am familiar of who this killer was and what he was and what he's done, and the fact that they've never been able to catch him. I know that much.
All right, fuck it. Screw it. Look. I'll throw the ball. Okay, baseball refs. I'll throw the ball at you. Let's see if you swing it. All right, swing and hit it. All right. So, all right. The rules go 3, 2, 1, play. When we say play, you press play. Again, 3, 2, 1, play. When we say play, you press play.
And if you don't press play, you're going to get stabbed horrifically by this guy.
All right, you hit it. All right, cool. All right, so here we go. Zodiac. Let's go. Been waiting for this. All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
And we are in. Here we go.
Now I got Warner Brothers.
And now I've got Paramount. It's in reverse on my end.
What follows is based on actual case files. Easy to be hard is playing.
1968, a different time back then.
Oh God, neither one of us was born.
My mom was born on this year.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure the UK didn't really give a fuck, but I'm pretty sure your mom was very familiar with the Zodiac killer.
Oh yeah, she knew about it later on. I know it was all over the news worldwide because this was a big deal. But I know that in the UK, we had our own serial killer called the Yorkshire Ripper. Different story for a different day.
But yeah, this movie, I remember when this movie came out in 2007, and it was one of those movies that kind of there was a reason why it flew under the radar, but I can't think of it right now. But this was a movie that people just did not talk about. But if you ask most David Fincher fans, a lot of people put this as their favorite David Fincher film. For me, it's a tie between this and Seven. Um, I may have to put this over Seven because it's based on a real case and the mystique surrounding it.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing about the way this movie was put together and the fact that you keep this like mystique about this character because nobody you never really see this guy a lot on the screen. You only catch him briefly, but when you see him, he makes his presence felt, and that's how it was in real life with this guy when he was about to do the horrific crime we were about to witness and everything. But yeah, as far as my favorite David Fincher movies, this is for me in the top 3.
And yeah, I remember that. Yeah, back in the '60s, people, would go find little spots, to go make out in.
Yep, they did that back in the day. And this
Fuck off and die.
This is during the time when you had the whole peace and love hippie movement going on. Vietnam War was starting to wind down at this point. And it was one of them times where things were starting to change a little. And I guess you could say the Zodiac killer and the whole thing with Charles Manson pretty much killed the whole peace and love movement for what they were trying to do back then. So,
and David Fincher, he's so good at creating mood and atmosphere. He's not a horror director per se, but he's really good at building tension and really good at narratives and storytelling. He's one of the best at it.
Oh, dude, he's like hands down one of the best in the game when it comes to doing the whole storytelling, piecing the film together, building suspension. Like this guy definitely checks all the boxes that you want to find out of a filmmaker. And he does it so masterfully, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, and I've just learned also the screenplay for this movie was done by James Vanderbilt, who did the Scream films.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. Wait a minute, this movie, you're saying about it being under the radar. The movie cost about a budget between 65 to 85 million, and it only made about 84 million. So it slightly underperformed its budget. But critics have gone on to say, I think it was BBC that voted saying it was the 12th greatest film of the 21st century. Ain't hard to see why.
Wow.
Oh, shit. And just like that.
Wow, brutal. Brutal.
Just like that. Shot her through the hand and the face. I like the sound.
And then they said that's how the killer, that's how the Zodiac killer, that's how he did things back then. Just add random. Yeah. Just we get random people. There was really no motive. There was really no pattern you could follow. Like he was just killing. There was no reason why they were just there.
He was too damn smart as well.
Yeah, that was brutal. But I mean, this may sound crazy to say, but that scene was brutal, but it was done very classy. It was very done in a classy way. It wasn't like grotesque or brutal. Well, it was brutal, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it was more disturbing than brutal. The fact they're somewhat still alive is even more shocking.
Yeah, I believe this dude here actually survived the attack.
He probably wishes he didn't, though.
4 weeks later, San Francisco, California. San Francisco. San
Andreas was filmed in that, and that's had a scene there. And of course, The Rock, Escape from Alcatraz. A couple of good movies are done there. Even those Planet of the Apes films.
There's Jake Gyllenhaal. I think this kid here is gonna. I think he's gonna be somebody in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he might make it. He might make it.
Never know. He might.
He might. You never know.
I want to see what that kid's
And
up
it's
to.
and it's crazy because because again, what's so intriguing about this case is that that they never found the guy, and you gotta keep in mind too, like it was a lot harder to solve cases back then. You got to think about this. This is the late 60s. So before the 90s, DNA did not exist. You couldn't match, certain crimes due to DNA. I mean, of course, DNA didn't exist. Of course, there's always been DNA, but like the science. Yeah, the science for it was not invented yet. So, which by the way, I'm pretty sure the guy who invented DNA is probably dead somewhere in the desert.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was.
I'm just saying, Paul. This is why I'm gonna get a little racial. This is why I'm gonna get a little racial here. But DNA, but DNA was supposed to keep black people in jail, not release them. Okay, a lot of people got out of jail due to DNA. They killed that white, but they beat his ass buried in the desert. Invent this. But anyway,
like to capitalize on what you're saying,
Paul, it was a lot harder to solve crimes back then.
Yeah, it was damn near impossible back then. Technology at the time was just starting to make us a little bit of progression. It wasn't like major progression at the time, but when it came to forensic science and DNA sampling, profiling, dental records, CG modeling of a skeleton, so you could kind of get an idea of what the person used to look like through that kind of thing. We never had any of that back then.
And now it's gotten so crazy now that because crime scene investigation has evolved so much in 40, 50 years. You could be tagged, if you committed a crime, if you committed a murder back in 40 years ago, they could just reopen the case and then you'd be tagged for it 40 years later. It's crazy.
I know, it's like some of these serial killers, they disappear out of the scene, all of a sudden get a nice family and got a cushy life, and all of a sudden what they did in the past comes back to bite them in the ass and kick them in the balls on the way down.
And that is the most terrifying part about the whole situation, is that the killer, Zodiac killer, is if he's still alive, he's probably in his 80s. He's probably like a loving granddad somewhere.
Let me tell you this.
And the family has no knowledge of what he's done in his life.
Yeah, I'm gonna read you this little Daily Mirror link that was posted 2 months ago. Now, this is what it says. Check this out. It says here that the FBI has identified the infamous Zodiac killer. The killer who killed at least 5 people in the 1960s was, as an Air Force veteran, as a cold case investigator has claimed. The theory has been put forward by journalist Thomas Colbert, who has said a bureau whistleblower confirmed that the chief suspect was an Air Force veteran called Gary Francis Post, who died in 2018. It has his mugshot up on here and everything. I'm going to put the link in the chat box, in the YouTube chat box, for you guys to have a look. And what do you guys think? Come to your own conclusions here.
Okay. What evidence does he have on this?
I'm just reading into this right now. This is a daily.
Yeah. What is the bullet? What is the concrete, red button proof that it's this guy?
Okay. Post, who died in 2018, was connected to the case by a partial DNA sample, Mr. Colbert claims. Case breakers and organizations set up by Mr. Colbert to crack cold cases said in a statement, the felon has been secretly listed as a Zodiac suspect at the headquarters computers since 2016. The Zodiac killer is formally connected to the 5 murders that happened in Northern California between 68 and 69. And as you know, he sent taunting messages. So it's because of some partial DNA that they had since 2016. Anyway, case breakers say that the evidence connecting the Air Force veteran to all 5 and even a 6th murder from 1966. The group quote their alleged whistleblower saying, like cops, federal agents are dealing with a huge caseload constraint, trading old rules and bureaucracy. But when someone wearing a badge or uniform works with others to avoid or hide material, sidestep difficult procedures, or lie about evidence, they're hurting our volunteers and thousands of families waiting for answers. So, despite this claim from the group, the FBI have said the case remains open and unsolved, but that seems to be what they have at the minute. And this is all we know. But the guy died in 2018 and he was 80 at the time.
Okay, so we got that. We got the lead investigator, Robert Graysmith, who believes that it's Arthur Lee Allen. Which, by the way, the evidence does point at Arthur Lee Allen. Again, Paul, I don't know if I buy that. I don't know if I buy that.
This is all we got to go on. This is the article which I've posted in the YouTube chat. If you want to have a read yourself, man, go for it. But it's there.
I will because there's so many people that's come out over the years saying, "Hey, my dad was a Zodiac killer." Like fuck off.
It's always somebody trying to get their claim to fame.
But yeah, just there's old Robert Downey Jr., a year before his career really skyrockets. This a year before he's Iron Man.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about this, guys. Before he was in this and before he was in Iron Man, you could say during the late 90s and early 2000s, his personal life was going down the shitter for his
it was very well documented about what his drug history and stuff. It's very well documented.
Yeah, and I remember the first film I ever saw him in was it wasn't Natural Born Killers. That was the second one I saw. The first one I saw him in was that movie biopic when he was playing Charlie Chaplin.
Yep, that's a really good one. He was great. He was great in Charlie Chaplin. There's a great Robert Downey Jr. movie. This one he was super young. I'm talking. It was like him. It's a movie called Less Than Zero. Than Zero. Great. Really depressing film, but it's a great performance by Robert Downey Jr. and he was great in that. Wasn't he in a John Hughes film?
I think so. I know in terms of comedies, I remember one he was in called Tropic Thunder.
He was great in Tropic Thunder, absolutely.
I couldn't believe they got away with that one just because of the character he was playing. I was like, "Oh shit, that's gonna cause some heat, man."
Well, we got to think about this, Paul. That was like 2008, and what was so funny about that? It was so funny about that because again, I was around during that time. Clearly, you were, and he was in blackface. And granted, it wasn't acceptable back then neither. But no one back then really did the whole, I'm offended. They never did it back then.
No, they didn't. No, it was like I said, it was like whole different thing back then. I mean, people knew it was offensive, but in context of it being a comedy, they kind of got the hint of what he was trying to do, what his character was trying to do. It was like his character.
It helps that he was self-aware. Like the movie, acknowledges. They acknowledge it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he was a method actor. His character was.
Right, that's taking his craft way too serious. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, look at those glyphs, man. Like I couldn't even figure that out.
But yeah, I always like Robert Downey Jr. Like, sometimes it's my problem with Robert Downey Jr. Like he's he's just one of those actors where you're like, you see him and you don't necessarily see the character. You just see Robert Downey Jr. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
it's like it's not like, like fucking Daniel Day-Lewis when you believe he is that character. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
dude.
Like,
Daniel Day-Lewis, man, he takes his acting to a whole fucking different level. The way he puts himself into it. Like, remember that time he was playing Bill the Butcher? He actually learned how to become a butcher. He actually took butcher class training.
yeah, yeah. That's why he only. That's why you. That's how. That's why he takes long breaks in between films because he gets really into his roles and it takes him a while to recover.
He's
And
retired now.
he's right. Yeah, he's retired, and not exactly the most healthiest way to do it, but
Exactly, man. Dear editor, this is the Zodiac speaking. Oh, here we go. I got a bit of an echo, but half a month later, Napa, California, September 27th, 1969.
oh, this scene is really really brutal. It's really dark.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the part I was talking about if you don't press play. But yeah, I remember when they mentioned this in the documentary that this was out of all the kills that he committed, this was the worst that he did to someone. Because this was fuck. I mean, think about it. You're just chilling in the park, and then you see a dude with a mask over his head and a fucking target on his chest. I mean, if this
And
was you, James, you're just.
what's
I was
really
like,
so scary about this is that it's broad daylight. Like you would think in the daylight you would be safe, and that's what made the Zodiac killer like so terrifying is because
yes.
it was just random people, random moments, like it was terrifying, And this scene here, and credit to the actress here, the way she screams, she's getting stabbed, is so realistic.
That's
Like
so right.
it makes you like legit uncomfortable.
Yeah. Can you imagine yourself chilling and you got a dude like this showing up with a gun to your face? I'd be like, what the fuck do I do? Dude, you're not going to reason with this guy that he doesn't want money.
And you know what? And I believe I believe this this fellow here did an interview back in the day, and he said once he realized, like once you kind of realize that the person doesn't want money, you're that's when you're I'm gonna die. I'm going to die.
Yeah, like when you come across a killer who wants nothing from you but you being dead, that is fuck. Like he's got a combat knife, he's got straps. Like, how do you reason with someone like this? Well, the answer's simple: you don't.
And he actually speaks too in the scene.
Yeah, he does. I think this is only like one of 2 times you see him in this film. Like I said, it's been a while since I watched this, but you don't see him very much. We know you're not afraid to kill again. You prove that. Like, this is fucked up. You got nowhere to go. You can't run because he'll just shoot you. And you know your day, you know your gig's up, and how he's gonna do it to you is even more fucked up. Oh, he's hog-tied him. Shit. He doesn't want nothing from
Yes.
you.
and it's so realistically done here too. Like it feels real.
There's a thumbnail. Well, David did his homework. He studied every piece of these case evidences. Yeah, you're done, dude. That's it.
Yeah, listen how she screams, dude.
Fuck.
Wow.
Bro.
That was like legit disturbing.
That's the whole point. David knew what he was doing when he made this. And look, he left his calling card on the side of their fucking car. Coordinates.
Yeah, but that's how he did it. Like he would leave messages for the cops. Yes, and then the Zodiac killer he would call them.
I think that's the actual
pretty much
recording.
taunting them.
I think I heard rumor that this was the actual recording they used.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. God damn, dude. And there's that infamous sketch. That is just fucking... I'm just trying to see if I can find up some more like information in regards of making this movie, but I'm just like glued to what I'm staring at right now.
just like that sound just like one of my old teachers. Where's the report? Oh, it's finished. I just gotta type it up. We'll type it up.
Okay, I'm just gonna go right there now. Oh, listen to this. After this movie was released, the Zodiac case was reopened after the release of this movie.
I bet it was. I bet it was.
It was, man. I was just like,
but whoa. I mean, it's just such like the Zodiac killer case has just always just been fascinating to me because it's just like he got away scot-free. Like he got away scot-free, and that's terrifying to think about. That this guy, like I just said, he could be in his 80s, probably a grandfather somewhere, living in California, playing with his grandkids in his backyard, and his family have no idea what he's done when he was 30 years old in the 60s.
Can you imagine how fucked up that might be? Someone you've known as a family member, and they've done that? That'd freak me out, that would. I would be legit freaked out from that. But yeah, on the trivia side of things.
But I really liked that death scene there because it didn't like these deaths are done in a very classy way. Like they're not too gory, not too violent. I mean, it's violent, but it's done classy.
It's exactly how the crime evidences were depicted. That's how Fincher did this. And check this out, too. I don't know if you knew this, but the producers hired a private investigator to track down the real-life Zodiac survivor, Michael Renner, who so they could get some information about how to do this film. Now, that I didn't know about before. And Fincher said that he wanted the film to be as accurate as possible, so he decided not to depict any of the alleged Zodiac murders for which there were no survivors, victims, or witnesses. So he only depicted the ones we know of and not the ones that they were as alleged. I just think, too, the people that were trying to find this guy, their careers got destroyed from this because they pretty
Oh,
much.
absolutely. Absolutely. If you're a police officer and you're in such a high profile case like this, where like you're chasing someone that's really shook the nation, like the nation is scared to death, and of course is going to destroy marriage because you become emotionally attached. And let's be clear too, Paul. It's also competitive. Like, of course, you want to solve the case for the greater good of the community, but it's also an ego thing. You want to be known as the one that solved the case. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And this case drove a lot of people mad.
There's Goose from Top Gun.
Oh yeah, I thought I recognized him.
Highway to the danger zone.
Yeah, you know it's funny. I've got the second one and I still need to watch it.
Yeah, it was. Some people say one of the most saddest deaths ever when Goose dies in Top Gun.
Oh man, I remember when I saw that and the way his head cracked on that hatch. I was just like, "Oh, dude, no!" I was like, "That sucked."
That did suck, man.
Because all you could do was just and then I'm just like, "Well, there you go."
And of course, Anthony Edwards went on to have a successful run with the show ER. My mom used to watch that show all the time. Ever seen ER?
I've got the entire box set, all 15 seasons.
Every time I think of ER, I just think of George Clooney and that theme song.
Oh, that was the first. That was one of the early stuff I saw George Clooney in. And
yeah, I know a lot of people say the first time I saw George Clooney was in ER. That's why what he did. That's why what he did from Dusk Till Dawn. Because keep in mind, folks, he did Dusk Till Dawn in the middle of his ER run. So that's why it was so shocking to see George Clooney act the way he acts in Dusk Till Dawn, because he's known as the handsome, doctor from ER.
Yeah, and a lot of people seem to forget also, before he was in ER, he was in another horror movie from back in the day called The Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I don't remember him in that.
He was.
But I do remember him in the early season of Roseanne. He had a mullet and everything.
Yeah, he was in that one too. What other films was he in? Dusk Till Dawn's another good movie. Perfect Storm, Three Kings. What else? Got Peacekeeper. Oh, and that Gravity, which is one of my favorite sci-fi films. And here's Mark Ruffalo before he ruined the Hulk.
You think he ruined the Hulk?
I think his portrayal did, yeah. I mean, I prefer Eric Banner's and Edward Norton's take on it. But what they did to him on that one, I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? Especially on Avengers Endgame. I was like, what the hell have they done to this guy?
Yeah, didn't they pretty much cut Hulk's balls off pretty much in one of those movies?
Well, yeah, because Thanos pretty much stomped on him at the start of the movie. Like, he kicked the shit out of Hulk. You never saw him again after that on that movie.
Then he became like Smart Hulk or some shit.
Yeah, he became Smart Hulk and became, I guess you could say, turned into someone that didn't want to use violence, which is a bit unusual for something like Hulk.
The Hulk not wanting to be violent?
Yep. That was the one issue I had with Endgame, but everything else about it was cool.
Oh man, that's messed up.
I know, but again, it's because of what Thanos did to him on the movie before it, on Infinity War. Like, I'm not joking, man. He beat the fucking shit out of him, and I've never seen anyone do that to the Hulk ever. Thanos was that guy. He was in another movie.
I wish I knew what you was talking about, Paul.
Oh well, Yeah, more. It was Avengers Infinity War. The way they did it, I mean, it's gonna be complicated to do it, but let me see if I can remember the chronological orders.
Just give me
So
the
you
cliff
had
notes.
okay, so you had Iron Man. No, Captain America: The First Avenger. That was the chronological one, technically the first. Then you had Iron Man. Then it was Iron Man 2, and then it was Avengers, and then it was 4. No, it was 4. Then it was Avengers, and then it was Iron Man 3, and then you had Avengers. I think it was Age of Ultron. Then it was another one of them 4 movies, and I think Doctor Strange as well. And then it was Avengers Infinity War. That's where Thanos came in. And then you had Endgame a year later, and that's the one that like made tons of money. Actually toppled Avatar as the top movie of all time, and then they re-released Avatar again, and and now it's become the top movie again. So there's that. But yeah, it's if you want to watch like the Avenger movies, there's 4 of them. So I would just say just watch the Avenger movies just so you can get an idea of how that story unfolds. You don't have to watch all of them in chronological order, but in order to make sense of the story in the grand scheme of things, that's what people would do.
Okay, all right.
And I will admit that after Avengers Endgame, as far as I'm concerned, that was when Marvel reached its zenith, I guess you could say. And
Yeah,
then
they say
after
Marvel's
that,
trash now.
yes, apparently some of the movies that's been coming out now have been lackluster, with the exception of Shang-Chi and Black Widow. But most of the others have been disappointing. I'm a little nervous about this new Daredevil TV show because I know Disney's doing it, but it was originally a Netflix joint, and I know the Punisher is going to be in it. And if they fuck up those 2 characters, you will hear me going nuclear on the air after watching it.
Oh, look at those old school typewriters.
Oh God, I remember those fucking things. You type something. Next line. I'm like, thank God we got laptops.
Yeah, this was the late '60s, early '70s. Yeah, the golden age of journalism. You know,
Mm,
when journalists actually wanted to find the truth, you know, and not just fabricate a story, get it publicated on the internet just to get the most clicks and all that shit. Like there was actually integrity with journalism back then.
yeah.
They were like I said, they were more for about finding the legit truth instead of trying to get the most clicks and get the most likes and shit. Like
Most of
journalism, from what I've heard, because I got family that's in journalism. From what I heard, just the integrity of journalism has gone down the shitter within the past 40 years.
yeah. Somebody was saying because of the photography stuff I do. Somebody was saying, "Have you ever thought about doing like photography stuff with with journalistic stuff?" And I just said, "I, I thought about it. I mean, the money's good and all, but I it all depends on if I'm willing to do that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not ruling it out, but it all depends on what goes on between now and then because there's other things I want to do, but that's like one of my fallback options, I guess, just to do some photography stuff, really, in that manner. But I see your point though when it comes to like journalism. Like a lot of it now is because a lot of people just don't want to know the legit information. They always go to these like third sources or some bullshit sources. I'm not going to say any names, but some of the ones I'm
Or just
talking
read the
about.
headlines. Just read the headlines and that's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, when it comes to news sources, I just go to my usual newspaper sources, but most of the other ones, it's just like I'm just like,
You still
whatever.
you still read the newspaper?
Well, the online one, I just look at certain news
Oh, okay,
articles,
all right, all right, all right, all right.
not I don't look at every news article. There's only certain news articles that I've kind of like pigeonholed that I want to read into, but that's about it really. Oh God, those fucking tube TVs. I don't think I could do an office job though. I'm the kind of person if I do end up getting some kind of work, I'm the kind of person that's got to be out and about. Because if I'm stuck in one place for too long, I'm just gonna go nuts.
I can do it, no problem.
All right.
Hey, there's a killer of Scream 6.
Oh yeah, I recognize him now. Here's the thing. This was like what 14? No, yeah, 14 years before Scream 6.
Yeah, he's already better now than he is in Scream 6. I did not like his performance in Scream 6 at all.
No, I wasn't too pleased about that either. I
It
mean, the
was too
movie.
cartoony. Especially
Yeah.
when we got to the reveal. He acted like a
Oh.
cartoon character.
Why do they fucking do that with these Scream characters in these films? When you fucking reveal who the killer is, they go into this like cheesy supervillain type direction, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Hey, there's Casey Jones.
Oh shit! I forgot he was in this. And funny, folks, we were watching the original Ninja Turtles last week,
Yes, we did.
and there will be more in the future. But yeah, Ellis, again, is another actor that I feel hasn't got his flowers completely. Because he's been in, I mean, Zodiac, he had a good role in this. I mean, but I think one of his, with the exception of Casey Jones, I think the only other film I remember him being in, which I really enjoyed his role in, was Cronenberg's Crash.
And I heard that the actor doesn't really like talking about the Mutant Ninja Turtle movie.
I don't know why. I mean, you playing a pretty iconic character there, if you ask me. But
Yeah, turns out he doesn't like talking about it.
I think it might be because of the experience he had in part 3, because he ended up playing 2 different roles. He didn't have a lot of time playing Casey Jones in the 3rd one, and I know he wasn't even in the 2nd one at all. I don't know the reasons behind it yet, but I think because of that situation, that might be the reason why he doesn't talk about it much.
This is very small, but I like this. Like usually, I like how when someone's on the phone, you can actually hear the person. Like it's very small, but I kind of like stuff like that. It just makes it just feel more authentic, you know.
Yeah,
Because usually, when someone's talking on the phone, you know, they're kind of just just reacting. You know, they're not really talking to nobody. But
Yeah.
it's really small. But I just like stuff like that.
Little tiny details like that is what makes a whole difference sometimes with these films.
And of course, because again, obviously, they never really found the guy that did it. This movie, you feel like you're a part of the case, like you're along with the ride with Mark Ruffalo and Anthony Edwards, and with Jake Gyllenhaal and Robert Downey Jr. Like it feels like you feel like you're on the case as well, even though we're never gonna know who it is, but it just pulls you in, you know.
Yeah, like you are literally completely invested in this movie. That's one of the things I like about this movie is that once it grabs you, you're in for the ride from start to finish, and it doesn't matter how long the film is. You don't feel like 2.5 hours has gone by because you're so into it.
Got Jake Gyllenhaal. He's like that man's gonna be like 60 years old. He still looks 25.
That's wild, isn't it? I mean, how old is this dude now? He's got to be like,
he's gotta be in his 40s, maybe.
He's 3 years older than me. He's 43. He's gonna be. Oh, he's a Sagittarius just like me. His birthday's on December 19th, 1980 was when he was born. So he's 4 years older than me.
You know what's so funny? I used to get him and Jared Leto like confused every time.
It's not hard to see why.
Like I used to get those guys so confused. Like when I was younger, like I used to think that Jake Gyllenhaal was it. Like I used to think, like, wait, they got Jake Gyllenhaal as Batman? No, not Batman. As Joker? Like, no, it's Jared Leto. I thought it was the same guy.
It almost looks like him, doesn't it? Yeah, but yeah, like he's been in like a plethora of good movies. I mean, like
there's a really good Jake Gyllenhaal movie called Enemy. He's really good in that, and Nightcrawler. I dug Nightcrawler.
Dude, Nightcrawler was one of my favorite movies, and then of course he was in Day After Tomorrow. He was recently in Ambulance. There was a cop movie he was in called End of Watch. Donnie Darko, remember that one?
Oh, of course.
And let's not forget the movie he ended up winning a BAFTA award for and nominated for an Academy Award. You know the one I'm talking about. Brokeback Mountain.
Yes, Brokeback Mountain. Yes. Yeah. I never saw it, but I heard it was good.
I was channel surfing one day and I ended up watching it when it was on TV. There was nothing else on, so I thought, fuck it, I'll watch it just so I could, because there was nothing else on. So bollocks, why not? But it was for storyline wise, good movie. I'll say.
I hear the story. I hear the story is great. Like it's a really good story. And they say Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal is great. I just don't, care to see the other stuff.
Yeah, I know where you're going, but no. Their acting performances in the movie was really good, second to none.
I hear it's brilliant. It's just I just don't want to see,
I know.
Yeah.
It is a romance. It's a neo-Western romance movie, but you get the idea, guys.
Yeah, you get. You got it a few times apparently.
Yeah, pretty much. But hey, hats off to everybody that was involved in it, and it did become a success, and it won a good amount of awards. So can't complain there.
And apparently, what happens here? There actually is a newscast out there where the Zodiac killer. They claim that it was a prank, that a plane was a prank caller that did this. But there was a newscast where the Zodiac killer legit called into a newscast live.
Yeah, that is true. He did do that. Yeah, I mean this guy.
Now, whether it was him or not, we don't know. It's come out saying it was a prank call. Oh, the slinky!
I had one of those.
I did too.
Oh, they were fun.
So that's how simple toys were back then.
Yeah, like those fidget spinners. Remember how popular they got lately?
Yeah.
I got one of those again, and I also found out it definitely helps calm a person with autism and anxiety down. So that's why I kept mine. Definitely works. I got the one that lights up and everything. Here he is. He's on the phone right now.
Yeah, you can actually find the clip on YouTube too. Like again, like I said, it's been confirmed that it was a prank caller, but imagine that, bro. Imagine like you're watching your local news, and the actual Silicon that's been terrorizing the city is calling in.
Oh, that's so fucking crazy. And then there has been actual not this killer, but different killers that actually did phone up and ended up being on the news because they made that call. And I think there was this one serial killer I remember hearing about on a documentary. I've forgotten what one it was, but he ended up on that dating program that you had in the US. You remember that one?
Wait, what's that?
There was this one serial killer that ended up on a dating show in the US, and the person.
I heard about that. Yeah. I forgot what his name was, but yeah, I remember hearing about that. It's crazy. Yeah. So you can't get away with stuff like this now. Like if you want to be like a serial killer, like you gotta hide. I mean, if you're sick and twisted, you gotta go hide in like Montana or Idaho or some shit. Like with camera phones, all stuff, you cannot like you got to be really like off the grid, if you're gonna like have a staying power as a serial killer in this day and age.
You better have some talented Mr. Ripley shit going on. What the hell was that?
Because like they can look at phone records, they look at internet history, all that stuff. Like today, the killer just could not call to a news broadcast like now. Like no,
nope. They can trace your calls. Oh, that's Brian Cox.
That is Brian Cox. Yep, was in the Ring.
And you may not believe this also, but he was also in a little video game that came out in 2003 by Rockstar called Manhunt. But he's a legendary actor. I mean, he was in films like Manhunter, and he was in that TV show called Successor. And I remember that one meme that I used the meme a few times. Where he's just like, "Oh, fuck off." San Francisco streets there with the bridge.
And I gotta give the guys the set design in this film is really good. Like I believe this is a 1970 San Francisco.
Yeah, it definitely is. Oh, and also Fincher, he recreated the victims' costumes in fine detail from the forensic evidence that was lent to him during the production. So that's why they look so accurate to the T.
Yeah, there's the survivor. Yeah, that's right. Because they asked him. Yeah, he said it's not him because his voice is too high. Yeah, because he spoke and he's the only one that could identify it. I mean, and like. And that again, it's so bro. Apparently, during the time, there was actually copycat killers. Like there were actually people being killed, actually around San Francisco. It's just that Zodiac killer was like taking credit for it. There's that theory that's out there. It's just like I said, it's so fascinating because there's so much mystique surrounding it.
Yeah, I mean, like you had a lot of people that did all the copycat killing stuff. I know that was like a big thing that happened during the 70s and 80s because everybody wanted to have that infamous claim to fame, I guess you could say, because the Zodiac killer was hot news back then, and
it was huge back then.
Yeah, like he literally, I'm just gonna go and say it, he had the whole world watching.
And yeah, think about that. Like granted, he did most of his killings in San Francisco, but man, like this scared the nation because you didn't know whether or not whether you walk outside you could run into the Zodiac killer, and like and that's what I don't know why. Maybe it's just me being weird, but I've always had this fascination. Like when it comes to like serial killers, like I always find myself, watching, interviews that they've done and all that stuff. Like somebody asked me, who do I think is creepier, the Zodiac killer or Ted Bundy? I would say the Zodiac killer because, again, like I said, he's never been found, and just the mystique around it just makes it creepy. Ted Bundy was creepy too, but he had a pattern for how he killed, all that stuff. But I mean, if you've seen a Ted Bundy interview, Paul, like you get, like, again, he was charming, he was very charismatic, very charismatic.
I've been watching. I'm going to go ahead and say I've been a bit of a documentary whore, checking out all these documentaries about serial killers and watching those reenactment dramas about them. And, I've got a few movies based on that stuff too. I mean, I've seen some of the ones involving that John Gacy and, of course, Ted Bundy that you were just talking about. The most of these were on Netflix. And, of course, Henry Lee Lucas or Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. I mean, for me,
Ed Kemper.
Yeah. If I have to say, who do I think is the most disturbing serial killer that I've ever watched? For me, I'm gonna say Dahmer.
Dahmer, yes, was very disturbing. Um,
Yeah, there was no
the
justification for what he
the
did.
the 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 Night Stalker is up there too.
Yeah, Summer of Sam.
Summer Sam was disturbing, and that was like, and again, that was in that 70s 80s period.
Yeah,
Dahmer was more, yeah, it was in the 90s,
yeah.
late 80s, early 90s. Um, in my time, I mean, I mean, this is fucked up, but my era is more, it's more in the school, mass shooter era.
Oh,
But
yeah, yeah.
but one was that I was like a serial killer. The one person I can think of is I think it was that LAPD officer. Um
I think I know
Forgot
what
what
you
his
mean.
name was, but he was LAPD officer that was killing other cops, and they found him like in a cabin somewhere, and they straight they didn't bring him for questions. They straight up murdered him, bro. Like they set it on fire and shit, bro. Like,
No, they
like
couldn't let
that
someone like
was,
that live.
I mean, but then he had a manifesto. He said he was fighting back against LAPD because of the corrupt shit that they've done.
Oh,
Um,
bullshit.
so you have that. You had the don't forget about the Unabomber.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember seeing that one too.
You can't forget about that, which is
Oh,
crazy enough. Which is crazy enough because like, if the Unabomber just chilled after those last couple ones that he did, he could have got away with that shit.
that dude was
He could have got
completely
away
off the
if he
grid.
just relaxed.
Yeah, he was totally off the grid. That guy. And what's crazy is that he was a college degree graduate. Like the dude had a brain on him.
That's what makes it. Again, that's what makes it terrifying. Like, it's the people that you least expect.
Yeah, because it's like the whole thing with. I mean, I'm sure you've seen that Jack the Ripper movie that Johnny Depp was in called From Hell, right?
With Heather Graham, right?
Yeah, you've seen that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because if you think about it, a lot of people assumed that the guy that was being Jack the Ripper was, I don't know, some butcher or some poor person. They never in a million years suspected it was somebody of a high educational class or part of the high society or some shit like that. I mean, I could go on all day long about this theory about who it is. A lot of people reckon it was like a royal surgeon or somebody that was part of the royal family and they did everything they could to cover it up. There's a lot of fucking speculations. We never found out the true identity of who the Jack the Ripper was, but you could say that movie kind of threw that theory right up in everybody's face about it. And I kind of think it might have been that case too. Because why else would this person be offering prostitutes? There was a there was
That's a
there
good.
was a
That's a good point. That's a good
yeah.
point.
So it's like, man, it's one of those movies I got to revisit again at some point. Because I remember watching it in the cinema, but yeah, that whole thing with the serial killer. I mean, back then he was infamous, and some I remember on his one of the letters he sent, he basically said when people look back, they'll say he's the one that gave birth to the 20th century, and he might be right.
Whatever happened to Heather Graham? I always thought
I,
she was cute.
I don't know. I'm gonna see what happened to her. Hold on.
Last time I remember seeing her was in the Hangover movies.
I'm gonna check it out. Give me a second. Heather Graham, what are you up to?
She was fine as shit in the 90s.
Well, right now she is 54. Um, I got a bit of an echo, by the way. I'm just seeing what her recent movie was. Oh no, she's still acting. I mean, she's been in a couple of movies last year. She was in a horror movie called Suitable Flesh, which I think I saw on Shudder, which is a Lovecraft type horror film. The last movie she was in was some comedy called Chosen Family, which I don't know what that movie's about, but that's the last one I saw her in. That Oh, she even directed it too, so she did double duty on this. And oh, this one's got a kid in her car as well. Man. Oh shit! They took the wheel out. Now you've got a problem. Oh, and this is even worse because that she's got a kid in the car. Well, you know where this is going, James. That's the thing. See what I mean? You never see the dude's face. Not once. But yeah, for anyone who's just tuned in, folks, we are watching Zodiac. I think James is gone to do something in a minute. He'll be back
Oh
on
no,
in a
I'm
bit.
here. I'm here.
Okay, there you are.
I'm just intrigued. I'm just into this right now. So sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. I'm into this too. I mean, like, this is that's clearly a CG backdrop. I'm sorry, my TV just spots everything again. See, like, she knows there's something up here. And I don't blame her for being completely cautious because, again, she's got a kid.
Oh my god. Oh, that was disturbing. Oh, that was disturbing. Did you hear that?
I caught a bit of it, but you might as well say it
Did
anyway.
you say what? Oh, that is terrifying.
What did he do? Bro, what did he do? Did he take the kid? He took the fucking kid, dude! What did he...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she jumped out. Yes. But could you imagine? Oh my god, bro.
Oh, I'd have blown a fucking gasket if he did it. So that was the Zodiac. Oh. Soundtrack's good for this too, man.
It's a good soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just and the killer's just taunting them.
He knows he's like 10 or 20 steps ahead of him. So he knows they'll never catch him. Like this dude has done his homework. This guy's as brainy as Jigsaw. Yes, I made that reference. I like the visual style to this as well. Like when you see the words just like being there like that, you can tell he kind of utilized that CG technique with that visual style since Fight Club. I'm just pulling up some more trivia about this movie. Oh, fucking hell. Listen to this. The script for this movie, shooting the script, was 200 pages long. So to prevent any problems with the length, as such as a long script might cause, David Fincher decided to ask his cast members to speak faster. That's why they're all speaking at a certain speed that you're hearing right now. Oh, and Robert Graysmith and Paul Avery, they were not actually friends in real life. This relationship was like fictionalized for this film.
One of my favorite things about this movie is I always thought Jake Gyllenhaal and Robert Downey did. I always thought they had really good chemistry with each other. You know, they say, and Paul, you should know this better than anybody. You well, what's the one thing that I'm pretty sure your teachers probably said this. What is acting?
Reacting.
It's reacting. Yes, exactly. Acting is reacting, and you kind of need, someone with you, whether it's in a play or the movie, that you could bounce off of, that could get the best out of you.
Oh yeah, I remember during the first 2 years when I was in my college course, I had this college friend named John, and we worked pretty damn well together. We had that like nice little chemistry going on, and then during the later years, I wasn't initially bouncing off him at first, but I started bouncing off with Yuri and Mattia. We did a couple of things together during rehearsal runs, and we seemed to bounced off really good. And that was another thing. I have to put this out there. That was the one thing I loved about my classmates, is that we all bounced off well together. During the 5 years that we were together, and we rarely had a disagreement about anything. And anytime we did rehearsal runs or performances, we were like a fine, well-oiled machine. And that's something that will never be again. And that's the one thing I miss. But we worked damn well together.
Yeah, yeah. So it's always nice to have that, that one person, that you just go back and forth with. It feels natural. It doesn't feel like you're reading a script.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, but if I didn't have cool classmates like that I worked well with together, I don't think I would have survived the whole course and got a degree. So they helped me as much as I helped them. So shout out to them for that. Oh shit. There was blood in that card. Oh, check this out. The hardest code to crack was known as Code 340. It was seemingly finally solved by a cryptographer on December 5th, 2020, 51 years. It was famed as one of the most
The code's been
difficult.
cracked?
Yeah, they finally cracked it 4 years ago. Code 340. It was discovered that some of the letters in the alphabet were never used in the deciphered message, which was J, Q, X, Y, and Z. The 8 letters were represented by a single symbol, that the others were represented between the 2 and 10 symbols, a few of which were actual letters. The message reads, including misspellings: I hope you are having lots of fun and trying to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show, which brings up the point about me. I'm not afraid of the gas chamber because it'll send me to paradise all sooner, because now I have enough slaves to work for me where everyone else has nothing where they reach paradise. So they are afraid of death. I'm not afraid, because I know that my new life is life and will be an easy or an paradise death. That was the message that they finally cracked. What do you think of that? Learning some stuff about this stuff as we're watching this, folks. I'm just seeing what else we got here. And apparently, according to the studios, when they were getting ready to do this movie, David Fincher was always the first choice to direct this movie because of his work on Seven. So the studios are like, "Yep, this is the guy we wanted."
I've seen this woman before. What's her name?
Shit.
I've seen this woman before.
I'm trying to figure her out too.
I think it's Chloe something.
Hold on. Oh yeah, Chloe. Chloe Seven. Yeah, her surname's hard to spell. Yeah, she's
yeah. Like I always thought she was cute. Always thought she was cute.
Not bad for someone who's 49 right now.
Yeah, because I remember her in Boys Don't Cry. I remember her seeing her in that.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, I remember her in that, and she was also she was in American Psycho, the one girl that he did not kill.
He almost did though with that nail gun he had aimed.
He almost did, but because she was so pure, he couldn't bring herself to do it. But he warned her, like, I think you should leave.
Good thing she did, huh?
But he could. That iconic shot of him pointing at her with the nail gun, But because she was so innocent, that he just could not bring himself to do it.
Yeah, you couldn't. I mean, again, that's another movie that is a fucking classic.
Oh, it's a great film. Great film.
Like
one of the best Christian Bale performances you'll find out there. It's a little ridiculous. Absolutely. Come on, the scene. Come on, Paul. The motherfucker ass naked with Jordan's on, run down the hallway with a chainsaw is hilarious to me.
That is fucking wild. That is wild. And then
the motherfucker took the time. No, he took the time to put his sneakers on.
Yeah. And then of course he acts. He all of a sudden acts the shit out of me. Hey, Paul! Ah! Fucking.
Oh God! But that was Jared Leto. I thought that was Jake Gyllenhaal back in the day. But try to get your reservation that endures you now, you fucking stupid bastard!
Yeah. Oh, and not to mention he stomped the shit out of that homeless person's dog. I hated that scene, dude.
Oh, that was so. He just did that shit to be mean.
He just stomped the shit out of him. I'm just like, you motherfucker. And then that confession he was making on the phone about, I tried some of her brains and I cooked a little bit, and I'm just like, dude.
Bro, that's such a great scene. This is Paul Allen. I killed Paul Allen by putting an axe to the face.
Yeah, he's like, I just like to kill people. I'm just like, man, you were fucked up.
Right now. What's so funny? No, Paul, what was so funny about that scene is he sounds regretful for everything that he's done, but that moment, he was proud to say he killed Paul Allen.
Yeah.
Everything else, he sounded somber. He sounded a little regretful, but except for Paul Allen, he hated that motherfucker.
He hated him so much. Like he literally, he wanted to see how many steaks he could carve out of him with that axe. I mean, fuck, dude. Oh, here comes another news article.
Oh yeah, that back when people actually got their news either just by the newspaper or just by watching the news. And everybody was watching the news back then. Like everybody did.
Like I said, dude, the world was watching when this guy was doing what he was doing.
Like, and we didn't get 24/7 news cycles. That's one of the reasons why the Unabomber got caught, because really the Unabomber and the O.J. Simpson situation was like the beginning of 24/7 news coverage. Which back then, what I always say, Paul, TV had dignity. Like, it after a certain time, it cut off, like it turned off.
That's not the case anymore. You know, you got cable satellite.
He said it would turn off. They'll play the Star Spangled Banner. Like, it had dignity.
Yeah, we had the same thing over here. Like when it hit a certain time of night, like midnight, you got the national anthem playing, and then everything just shuts off. The only channel that never shut off in the UK was ITV, because you had like BBC One, BBC Two, ITV stayed on, Channel 4 stayed on. We didn't get Channel 5 until 97, but yeah, like back in the day, we never had like 24/7 programs. Now we've got like fucking streaming platforms, satellite channels, cable networks, and everything, you know, all up the fucking, you know what about it. And just, yeah. And also, we've got to put this out there too. You were talking about that chase with O.J. Simpson. That chase also gave birth to the live news coverage chases while they're in a chopper. And I think one of them actually crashed, I remember, during on live TV.
Bro, there was this yeah, like you didn't usually get to see it, bro. Like I remember back in like in the mid 90s, there was like a shootout in Los Angeles. It was like bro, like somebody, like they tried to rob a bank, the police got there, and you literally saw like a shootout. And
yeah, those two bank robbers, 44 minutes.
Yeah, 44-minute shootout, bro. Like, and it looked like some military motherfuckers too. Like it was crazy back then. Like seeing news coverage like that, you know.
And you want to hear something crazy about those armed bank robbers that were armed to the teeth? Guess what movie they watched to get the idea and training to rob a bank?
Heat.
And I don't know. And also, you may not believe this also, but that legendary thrash metal band Megadeth did a song all about that situation called 44 Minutes. It's on the Endgame album. I'll post you the song later. The song,
yeah, man, that shootout was crazy. At one point, one of them was shooting, walking towards the cops.
Oh yeah, dude, those guys were armed to the fucking teeth. I think it was an AK-47 and an AR-15, and the cops basically brought a pocket knife to a gunfight. They were getting schooled, man, by those guys.
Yeah, those are automatic weapons, man. Those were some military. Like no regular Joe from the street can have access to guns like that.
Well, back then you could just walk into a gun shop and get that kind of shit, or a surplus place.
That too.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man, how people were able to get things like this. Yeah, Ruffalo being a dick. You go fuck yourself. Tell me to go fuck myself, you son of a bitch. I'd be mad if somebody said that. 70s music blasting right there. New evidence in Zodiac killing. So this guy is still, they're still trying to figure this one out. Yeah, see, I was right. They did use the actual recordings for that phone call when you made that first call. Oh, listen to this too. Check this out. David Fincher said he recalled as a kid.
I'm sorry. That was funny. That was funny. She said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yes, sir." I'm like, "There you go."
Yes, sir. But I was to say, David Fincher recalled to the time when he was a kid, when he came home from school one day after noting how a police car had been following his bus. His father, matter of factly, replied, "Oh yeah, there's a serial killer who's killed 4 or 5 people who called himself the Zodiac, who's threatened to take a high-powered rifle and shoot out the tires of a school bus." So that's how Fincher knew about it, because he was in one of them school buses that could have been potentially targeted.
Fascinating. And I love how they're showing passage of time. Like, we're now in 1971. So I love how the movie is moving forward, with the investigation. We're not like stuck in one time. And also, too, and again, we just passed the scene right there. Like, so many people saying, I saw the Zodiac killer. I know where he is, and all that stuff. It's all bullshit. Like I'm saying, like, it's just like so many theories around it. It's like, bro.
I know. And it's like the reason why so many people were saying, "Oh, I know where he is," because a lot of people wanted to get that reward money.
They want to be the first person. Yes.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, I bet the reward money was stupidly high. I bet it's stupidly high now.
Oh shit! Back in I mean, I think right now I don't think you're gonna get very much because again, the guy, he's either dead or again, he's 80s in his 80s now. Like,
I think he's dead and gone. He's probably already in the ground and got away with it all.
But no, but by 1971, I'm pretty sure, like, you probably get like a $500,000 million reward money, which in the 70s could last you a long way.
Well, it's only been 53 years since they put the reward out, so.
And just think about that. And again, it's just weird to me because I could never. And because I actually, back to the serial killer conversation, like, it's just crazy how most serial killers, especially when you see interviews of them, they don't appear crazy. Like, again, I was watching some Manson. I mean, Manson was fucking out there, but what's crazy about Manson, Paul, is that a lot of shit that he says, you go, he's right. Like you actually kind of agree with the crazy shit that he says.
That's the crazy thing about him, is that he was so fucked up, but yet at the same time, he knew
he had a point. He had a point a couple times.
It's like, man, am I really agreeing with this?
And people want to say, Manson. People say Manson's a serial killer. I wouldn't necessarily classify him as that. He just gave orders. He was just fucking batshit insane. He was just crazy.
It was his followers that did the killing.
Yes, yeah, he just gave orders. That's really all he did.
But because he was the one that gave the orders, he essentially gave them the gun and pulled the trigger.
Right. Yeah, he put the battery in their backs. I agree.
Yeah. So guilty by association, and plus guilty for the one giving out the orders. So that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, but you don't have to be you don't have to be a bad person to have lots of charisma, and that's what clearly Manson had. He was a very charismatic guy. He had a whole fucking hippie group out there,
he tried to be a musician.
He wanted to be a musician, and it failed. I think it's something like the Beach Boys turned him down or some shit like that.
Yeah, the Beach Boys turned him down, and then he ended up just losing his mind and started talking about Helter Skelter and all that stuff.
And what's so crazy is that the ranch that the Manson family used to hang out at in California, I forgot what the name of it's called. Oh, this is when they meet Arthur Lee Allen.
Yeah,
this is when they meet Arthur Lee Allen. Which, again, to this day, Graysmith, he's gonna take it to the grave that he's the Zodiac killer, because all the evidence point out to him, but the DNA evidence says otherwise. But if you read his book and if you watch this film, he believes this guy. It's this guy.
What do you think? You think it's him?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of strange coincidences. And by the way, this actor that plays Billy Allen, he's a great character actor. He's always great. Anything I've seen him in.
He was in Volcano. That's one of the movies I remember him being in.
Yeah, I forgot what his name is, but every time I see him, he's always great.
His name is John Carroll Lynch. I think he was also
John Carroll Lynch. Yes,
wasn't he on The Walking Dead as well? I think he was on The Walking Dead.
I think he was in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's the one that trained Morgan.
Morgan, yes.
Casey
but listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying. It's like, and look how Mark Ruffalo and Ed look at each other. They're like, it's him. It's him.
He's got the same voice, the same cadence, the mannerisms.
Same build that has been described.
Same fucking build. Could be a doppelganger, but it's a dead ringer either way. The fuck, man.
Yeah, because in this, well, this is not really interrogation; it's more of an interview. But you they just look at him like, oh, it's him. It's him. Yeah, but there's nothing there's no evidence that can prove that. That's the most annoying. If I was a cop, well, that'd be the most annoying thing about it. I'm like, it's this guy, but I can't prove it.
Dude, I'd be biting my tongue until it.
Oh, I'd be biting my tongue too.
I would bite mine completely off. Mine would be gone.
The watch. He's wearing the watch. Same watch.
Fucking watch, yeah. But the DNA says it's not him, so like, what can you do?
That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part.
God, that must.
You can't. You know, Paul. You know, Paul who could have played this role.
Who?
Think about it. He's a very well-known actor, but he got himself in a little trouble a few years ago.
Oh.
He's been in a David Finch. He's been in a David Finch movie before.
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
He could have played this part. I can see Kevin. I can see Kevin in this role. I can see him at playing this character.
Well, he was in Seven playing John Doe. Yeah, and he was good in that too.
Oh, he was fantastic. Like, literally gave us one of the most emotionally draining endings to a film I've ever seen.
Oh, don't get me fucking started on
Bro,
that.
I'm telling you, Paul, anytime, like, I watch Seven at least once a year because it's not really a film I really don't want to watch every day. But anytime I watch that film, that ending, I just feel emotionally drained. Like, I gotta take a walk after watching that because that ending is so intense.
I remember when I first saw that ending, and I was just thinking to myself, I almost felt like I got kicked in the fucking nuts so hard that they turned inside out.
Everybody did. Everybody did.
You could see it in Brad Pitt. He's like, "What's in the box?" And then you realize when he says her pretty head, and I'm like, "You fucker." And
you know what's so fucked up? That's not even the worst part.
Yeah. And you know what?
That wasn't even the worst part.
I'd have done the exact same thing Brad Pitt did. I would have emptied a whole fucking clip in his face, and I probably would have grabbed a boulder and dismembered his fucking body till there was nothing left. I'd have taken it.
But he won. But he won.
He did.
He if you doing that, Paul, you did what he wanted you to do. That's the genius part of it.
How can I fucking resist the urge if he's killed someone I gave a fuck about?
Again, Wrath. What was it? Wrath? Like, become Wrath?
Yeah.
That was like his thing. Like, yeah, like again, that's that. Again, that's why David Fincher is so good. Like, it came down to that, and Morgan Freeman said it. Like, if you kill him, he will win, and he couldn't resist it.
Fuck it, he would have won out because I can't go there.
Again, you never know what you're gonna do unless you're in that situation.
Well,
you never know what you're gonna do. People say, "Oh, I would have done this, I would have done that." We don't know you never know what you're gonna do if you're in a situation like that.
Yeah, and look what was left of him afterwards. You could see it in his face, man. He was mentally gone, fried at that point. And the fact that also, don't forget, he didn't know she was pregnant. Put that out there too.
That's the worst part.
So
That
it was a
was the
double
worst part.
murder.
It was he killed his unborn child on top of that.
So you killed him twice. Oh man.
Christmases with two S's.
You know I'm gonna be watching 7 later this week now because of this.
Yeah, I watched it like a month ago, and I'm good.
I might.
Yeah, I watch it at least once a year, man. I just, I how it's a great film, fantastic film, very dark, but great film.
That's what I love about it.
And Kevin Spacey if he just didn't turn out to be such a piece of shit, man, he would go down as one of the best modern actors of our time.
Well,
he's a piece of shit.
He fucked up, and we know who else fucked up recently on the YouTube streaming platforms.
Who?
That Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, what happened with that? I don't follow him, so I'm not sure.
Well, it turns out that he was sending the kind of texts you shouldn't be sending to an underage person, even though he knew. So it turns out he was a fucking kiddie fiddling nonce.
Listen, anybody, and I'm on record saying anybody that does anything to a child, physically, sexually, whatsoever, deserves to not only go to jail, but go to jail, get their nuts chopped off, shoved in their mouth, and they deserve a nice little night with Big Wayne in a jail cell for 12 hours. Like, they deserve the worst pain. And when it comes to the kids, that's where I draw the line. You do something to kids, you deserve the worst pain imaginable.
You know, this movie's bringing out some fucked up topics we're talking about. You know.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But hey, it's just being honest. It's just being honest. When it comes to the kids, man, just leave them alone. You know, and that's why the Richard Ramirez Night Stalker thing was so disturbing, because he molested kids. He molested kids from no younger than 5. And he also, like, raped and like men and women.
Man.
Like from 5 all the way up to 80 years old. Like the guy was the lowest of the low. What was so crazy about this, Paul? And I've noticed this one. Women like that shit.
No comment. And
because they say that women would send him provocative photos and want to date him. We saw on the Dahmer show, that girls, would send them pictures, talk about that they love him, and
I don't get that at all with people.
Didn't Charles Manson get married in prison?
Twice.
We're fucked. We're fucked, y'all. And just recently, on TikTok, there was a period. I think it was like the Melendez brothers that murdered their parents. But there's really TikToks of women talking about how cute they are and all that stuff. It's like y'all, why? Just why?
I don't get it, dude. I honestly don't get why people are like this. It's like,
even in Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, even they acknowledged it. Like, I remember the scene when on the radio when this girl's like, I don't know, I'm just infatuated with Michael. You know,
Oh,
I think I'm in love with him. I want to see what's behind that mask. And
no, you don't.
I'm just like, there's women out there. But even back then during the Zodiac days, women would call into the radio shows, talk about how much they love him and all that stuff. I'm just like, what? Why? What is wrong with you?
To this day,
what is wrong?
I'm still speechless by this, or by why people do
Bro,
this.
I once knew a girl. That had such an infatuation with Michael Myers. Keep in mind, we was in a relationship at the time.
Right.
We were, giving each other, special attention, and she wanted me to wear the Michael Myers mask. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Oh, jeez.
I'm telling you, it's really weird. It's weird how some of these women just love serial killers.
It's a fetish, man.
But again, that goes when I say about how women like guys that are dangerous. Like, it's from serial killers to your nearest thug on the street. Like, girls seem to gravitate towards those guys, and women like danger. They like danger. It's crazy to say, Paul. It's crazy to say, Paul, but they like danger.
I know. There's like a rare breed of them out there that do that, and I'm just like, huh? But yeah, man.
Girls like guys that appear to be dangerous. It's the weirdest thing.
I know. It's strange worlds we live in, dude. It's like it says on my Facebook wall, I'm just a random dude trying to live in the world gone mad.
I know, right? So. Oh, the squirrels. Yeah, the squirrels as pets. Yeah.
I thought it was a ferret. Never mind. Conker's bad fur day in a cage. When I think of squirrels, I'm thinking of Christmas Vacation at that point. That's a crappy ass trailer house. I'm sorry, but why does these dudes with the shirt and ties remind me of those FBI cops on Mississippi burning right now? Must be the time period that they're in. Oh, and I don't know if you knew this also, but that Mississippi Burning film, I know you noticed it had Brad Dourif in it and Michael Rooker, but did you also know that Tobin Bell was in that movie too? The guy that played Jigsaw was in it. The fuck is that? Is that a fucking... Was that a wooden penis I just saw on the bedroom floor then? With shit stain? Oh, no, I'm not going there. I don't even want to know what he did with that. I'm just reading. I'm just seeing if there's any more trivia here, man. Shit, I've run out.
See, you clearly see where this is going. Like Graysmith, he believes it's this motherfucker Arthur.
And I guess no amount of evidence that says different in the world is going to convince him that it's not the guy.
No, because he's blinded. He's completely blinded. And it's again, ballistics, prints don't match. Like there's nothing. But here's the thing. It's a very, very odd coincidence because didn't he, Paul, look it up real quick. Didn't he go to jail around this. Yeah, he went to jail around this period, right? Look it up,
Yeah, I'm
please.
gonna look. Yeah, I'm trying to see
Yeah,
what's going on with
Arthur Lee Smith, was in prison. I think during the height of Zodiac Killer's reign.
Yeah, Arthur Lee Allen ended up inside for a couple of years. Yeah.
And you know what? And then they said that once he was in jail, the letters and the phone calls stopped. But when he got out of jail, it started back up again.
That can't be a coincidence.
It's a weird coincidence, man.
That either the guy's timing was perfect, or it was a coincidence, or it was, bro. I don't even.
That's a very odd coincidence, man.
I don't know where to begin on that one, dude. I mean that would even have me like getting all stumped and vexed, thinking, "Man, what the fuck?" You know.
You see, and I look at Mark Ruffalo, like he becomes so obsessed with this case, like he can't even watch a movie that has Zodiacs in it.
he can't let it go. He is not going to let this go.
Yeah. Right. He can't watch Dirty Harry because the Zodiac, because he's so obsessed with this case, which is completely understandable. Like I want to solve this shit.
Yeah, and plus that Scorpio character was inspired by the Zodiac.
That too.
Not many people wouldn't realize that unless you tell them. It's wild, man, when you think about it.
You know what else is wild? There's a lot of Marvel actors in this movie.
I did notice that as well.
I like that. You got the Hulk, you got Iron Man, and this is a couple years before they even get those roles. It's crazy.
Yeah, Brian Cox was in X-Men 2. He was William Stryker.
There you go.
Hang on. Celia Duvall, she's she was in Ghost of Mars, but she was in this film too.
Hey, where do you see her at?
She was playing Linda Del Bono.
They still do. Wait, ain't that the chick from the Faculty?
Yep, and Ghost of Mars.
She's in this.
She's in this, yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen her yet, but okay, nice to know.
Maybe she was. It was maybe one of those blink you miss it things.
No, I would have noticed. She got like a unique look. I would have noticed.
Well, she hasn't showed up just yet. We'll probably find out when she gets there. I'm gonna go grab me a drink from the fridge. Give me about 2 minutes.
All right, you're on the clock.
All right.
But yes, we are watching the 2007 film Zodiac. Me and Paul having a great time watching this film. We are officially 1 hour and 19 minutes in. Yes, this is a really good. This is a great film. Really, really good film, especially if you're into the Zodiac history and all that stuff. It's really, really good. Great brilliantly acted, greatly directed by Fincher. Good stuff. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. Hit the like button, and if you're enjoying the show. Got Anthony Edwards and Mark Ruffalo talking in a car.
I just stubbed my toe on the door.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards says he's leaving the case. Starting to become too much for him.
I'm back, but I just stubbed my toe on the fucking door.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, it sounded painful.
Yeah, it did. That's my pinky toe. That's the one I lost a whole toenail plate on.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. That sounds brutal.
Anyway, I got my drink.
There's nothing like stubbing your toe, man. Like it's the worst pain imaginable.
Well, you should know. You went there when you were on there one time, and I heard you crashing on it. Just, I remember that one.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, I remember. It was like, yeah, you see. I thought, what the fuck was that? Yeah, it's not a good feeling. But anyway, what I missed.
Now I will be right back, Paul. I pass the ball to you.
All right, hold the fort. Anyway, guys, yeah, we're checking out Zodiac right now, and these guys are still trying to figure out who the killer is. How you guys doing in the chat box? There's the ones that are still here. I see Louise is here. Philip's here. I think Lou's probably gone to sleep right now. I don't blame her, because I mean we were both at that metal concert, and we got another one tomorrow. But yeah, like this movie is very it's a slow burner, but it keeps you engaged from start to finish. And that's one of the things that I have enjoyed about this movie, is that it has kept my attention going. Even though we're talking about other stuff, folks, we are definitely taking on board what it is we're watching too, man. But right now they're just, what the hell is up with Robert Downey Jr.? It looks like the dude has seen better days. He looks like he's smoked a bit of crack. I can't say that, but Pong. What year? What year are we in now? When did Pong came out? I know Pong is like one of the first video games that came out. So when the fuck? Hang on, let me see what year. What year did Pong come out? Oh, okay. So we're in 1972. So yeah, that was when Pong was released. God, I remember when that game. I think that's on the Atari 2600, if I'm correct. Oh, I might be wrong. Yeah, I can see the Atari console down there. Sorry, guys. This is me being a video game nerd. Anyway, I'm just gonna have a quick drink a minute, guys. I'm still here. It's funny, the dude's in his boxers and so on. Anyway. Sorry about that. I was just having a drink here, folks. But anyway, as you can see, these two right now are still, I repeat, they are still trying to figure out who this killer is, and they just can't seem to catch a break. That's one of the That's one of the the scariest things about this killer, is the fact that they never caught the guy. Same thing with as you were saying earlier when we were bringing up Jack the Ripper. That's another person that was never properly caught or anything like that. And again, this is before we had forensic evidences and all that stuff at the time. So
there's Robert Downey Jr. Being Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and he was playing Pong as well
off a binge.
Oh, he's on a bender.
He's in his element now.
He is on a bender right now, dude. You got bottles of scotch and Jack Daniels there. You got a video game on loop, and now it's pissing down. That's funny. It was dry early. Now it's pissing down with rain. San Francisco weather for you, dude.
Well, apparently that happens in California.
Yeah. When it rains, it pours. I'll tell you that.
She is so cute. And she's not in that, she's hot as fuck. She's just cute. I just want to take her out on a coffee date.
I would. 1977.
Have a coffee date, talk about what's the newest books that's coming out.
Oh, there's a couple of books that came out, actually. I got the new Night of the Living Dead comics.
We get it.
Hey, you said about a book day, so I'm just saying what books I picked up. That's all. Oh, God, is that one of them red phone box things?
Yeah. Oh, bro, I remember those.
Yeah. Been a minute since I've seen one of them.
But yeah, a lot of these, y'all see the old school Pepto Bismol on the desk.
Yeah, I see it.
The old school Pepto Bismol, love it. I just love stuff like that. The references, the old stuff.
Yeah. Again, the attention to detail that Fincher's put in the timeline of this is just completely impeccable. Man, oh jeez, he's got a burger. But I so want to eat one right now. Fuck! I'll have to eat something tomorrow though before I go to the gig. Oh man. But yeah, they're still trying to figure it out, even though the case has gone completely cold now at this point. You care to the point where you're borderline obsessed, buddy. Oh, you know what? I just realized there was another movie that it was about a killer. Oh, the fuck was it called? Came out around the same time this movie did. Iceman. I don't know if you ever saw that one. It's about that. I think it was a mafia hit guy called Richard Klinsky. I think. I found a bit more evidence, but will it lead to anything?
Have you ever wanted to be a cop, Paul?
Maybe once or twice when I was a kid. That all changed though when Maniac Cop came around.
I'm like that. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a cop.
I mean, yeah.
But me, again, like I said, I'll be too emotionally invested. Like if I remember as a cop and I see someone like again, when it comes to the kids, like I'm walking out someone and a boss beating on the kids, I'm gonna want to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, you'd probably want to punch him out at that point, yeah. Or you go into like one place and you got a guy that literally just gunned down his wife and kid. Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm not joking right now. Like I said, I'd be emptying the whole clip on him. I just couldn't cope. I wouldn't be able to keep my composure. That's why, doing a job as a cop. I mean, as a kid, yeah, I thought about it, but then as you get older and you see some of the stuff that goes on, and not just that, but with like the corruption that goes on, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not doing that. It isn't worth the PTSD.
I just found it hilarious how we just watched this guy literally a couple days ago have a full head of hair.
I know, right? Like he actually did have a good set of hair, and now it's like there's nothing there at the top. Mine, I've not reached that point yet, but I'm kind of starting to see it a little at the front. But I still got my hair
Thankfully, I still got my hair.
Enjoy it while you can, because it might be gone one day. Just saying.
If it happens, then I'll just embrace it and go bald. You see, I don't understand the people that are balding, but they just don't embrace it. Just cut that shit off. Don't be like Shawn Michaels and hang on to that shit for dear life.
I guarantee you, if my hair gets to that point, I'll end up shaving it off. And you know what I might end up doing afterwards?
What?
Probably end up putting a big tattoo on the back of my head.
Have fun with that.
Well, Kerry King from Slayer did it. Imagine that needle going in your head for a couple hours. It's like constant ringing. Jeez.
Exactly. Like I wouldn't. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, then again, you're talking to someone who's got fucking tons of tattoos, and I've had them in all the painful spots you can imagine so far. Yeah, I don't see this guy doing a lot of acting stuff lately.
I haven't seen him much.
I want to see what he's up to. Give me a second. You know, the dude's 63 right now, and he's actually from Canada. The last film he was in. Oh, okay. So he was in a film last year. He was in some drama called Janet Planet, whatever the fuck that is.
Janet Planet. Oh, that sounds like trash.
Yeah, I'm gonna see how it done on the reviews. Give me a minute.
Janet Planet. Sounds like a Disney movie.
It's an A24 film.
Well, that could be good or bad.
Well, it has an 83% approval. I'll say that much. So they must have did something right, I guess.
And I was saying Gray Smith doing his own, which he did apparently. Apparently, outside of work hours, he was actually doing some investigating. Like he becomes emotionally invested into this.
Like I said, it drove him to madness.
And like you said, I agree with you, Paul. Like this probably, this case probably did ruin a lot of marriages for sure.
Oh, no doubt about it. I don't think any marriage came out intact, and if they were intact, they're not the same again.
Because of just just wanting to be the first one to crack the case. You know what I mean?
Everybody wanted a piece of it.
Yeah, but I never really had a problem with Mark Ruffalo as an actor.
Me neither. Me neither.
I mean, of course, you know, some of the things that he says publicly makes me go, why would you say that? But I've never really had a problem with that as an actor. Him as Hulk and stuff that I've seen, he seems to be fine.
Yeah. It's just that some of the stuff.
I get it. Guilt by association. I get it.
Again, like I said, I don't have an issue with what he's done in acting or anything like that at all. Oh shit, he was in that movie. What the fuck? He was in that old movie that came out back in the early 2000s called The Last Castle, which had Robert Redford in it.
First I saw him was 13 going on 30.
Well, Last Castle was the first one I saw him in. Apparently, it says here after completing work on The Last Castle, he was diagnosed with a type of brain tumor. What the fuck?
Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah. He had the tumor removed, but as a result of it, he has partial facial paralysis, and it's affected his hearing a little bit. So
okay. That's probably why his face looks like that sometimes. Oh, okay.
He remains deaf in his left ear to this very day.
Okay, I always wondered why his face would scrunch up like that. Okay, all right, that makes sense.
Oh, shit. Listen to this. Also, what? His younger brother was found outside his home with a gunshot to his head.
Oh, that's dark.
And the case remains unsolved. They never found out who killed his brother. Jesus, man, this guy's had some fucked up shit happen to him. I didn't know that.
That's pretty dark. What else had a dark life? You wouldn't think so?
Who's that?
Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I was about to say that too.
If you watch his backstory and the shit that he's been through in his life, it's just like shit. No wonder why he got on pain pills. God damn, a lot of fucked up shit happened to Kurt during his before he got into WWF.
You could say the same for Kane Hodder as well. He didn't have a good time growing up either.
Which, by the way, speaking of fucked up, Paul, I know you don't like AEW anymore, but did you catch the Tony Storm thing?
I did catch a little bit of that on YouTube, yeah, where Tony Storm got jumped by her former partner, and she's gone fucking unhinged.
Yeah, what'd you think of it?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't too bad. I think in terms of what AEW needs to do, man, they really need to like start changing their managements pretty quickly because they're going down the tube. Like they're now at the point now where they're barely getting 600,000 viewers. You know what I mean? And MJF's a heel again. I understand.
Yes, he is.
I guess it would be that. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just like I remember when it was worth watching, especially during the COVID times. And then after the whole thing with CM Punk, it was just like, then you get to see what was really going on.
Yeah, I thought the Tony Storm thing was. I did a video on it, and I will tell you, I thought it was fantastic. And I'm looking forward to see what a babyface Tony Storm does. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Tony Storm. I think head and shoulders, she is one of the best women's wrestlers walking right now. And how she sold that, man, when she's bleeding and she's crying. And she's crying in a way where she's kind of like how the woman screamed during her getting stabbed here early in the movie here. Like it was like heartbreaking, like disturbing how she was crying. Like you felt kind of sorry for her.
Yeah. I mean, like she got people like really sold into the idea that she got hurt pretty bad. And I don't just mean physically, but mentally with the way she got attacked.
And then when Mariah was stabbing her with that heel, that was great stuff.
Oh, that was brutal, but yeah, it was good stuff, man. Either way.
Like, and again, like I said, it just goes to show. If I said it in the video, you can watch it there, but I did say that's what frustrates me about AEW. They can, when they want to, give you like good stuff on TV consistently outside of the matches. They just choose not to.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, like
that was a great example.
Yeah, that was like really good how they put that one together. But Tony Khan seems to be taking too much advice from Meltzer, and that's why.
What's the book for the sickos?
Yeah, and that's why AEW's where it's at
that's
right
what
now.
You know that's what he said, right?
Yeah, I did. I checked out the stuff.
I'm looking for the sickos. I was just like, okay, all right, and that's why your company is at where it's at.
Yep. Well, he's there to make friends, not money. Pretty much. So that's
by the way, shout out to CM Punk. That little dig he took at AEW. He said, "There's actually people on the other side of this camera."
Yeah. God, I remember that. Man, I remember like when we were watching Survivor Series last year and we hear that CM Punk theme kick off, and I was just like, oh my fucking God, they did it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Initially, Graceman was going after Rick Marshall. That's the person that he was initially going after. But there's something that happens here that triggers him off to Alan. To Alan. What was his name? Alan Lee.
Yeah, Alan. Yeah, Arthur.
Arthur Allen Lee. Yes. Where, but he initially was going after Rick Marshall. That's right.
Yeah. that was the initial target, and now it's gone.
Which, by the way, that's very bold. That's very bold because you gotta think about this, Paul. Again, you had to make sure your evidence is it's concrete. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just go around accusing someone without some hard ass evidence.
Yeah, you better have some ironclad proof, because if not,
especially back then, and this time, oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, because if your plan completely backfired, anything you say from here on out would be completely moot.
You would lose credibility. Like you would lose major credibility.
Yeah, like I said, your opinions are moot, and your reputation won't mean shit at that point.
Yeah, we don't see phones. We don't see phones like that anymore.
No, you don't.
Unless unless you're unless you got your grandparents' house or something.
Nowadays, everybody, even the grandparents, know how to use mobile phones. Well, some of them do. He's talking to Downey Jr. again on the phone. Like I said, when it came to that Zodiac killer, you only saw him briefly in this movie, but it's the aftermath that has the lasting impact here. That's some expensive drinks right there.
Yeah, because I think how old is Graysmith now? He's gotta be 80 something at this point.
Graysmith he's 81.
Yeah, he's 81. Yeah,
and he is still.
I told you, Paul. He's still like again. He's gonna take that shit to the grave, bro.
Was married to Margaret Ann Womack, a nurse from 63 to 73. He then married Maylene in 1975, but they divorced in 1980. And get this, he directly blames his failed marriages on his obsession with the Zodiac case.
Again, a great example of how this ruined marriages.
Yep. Oh, fuck, that was a Greyhound bus.
Keep in mind, but now we're in 1978. That's how long we've just gone through a whole decade.
Yeah, a decade, and there's still nothing.
And Arthur Allen Lee, when did he die?
I'm gonna have a look. Hang on, I have to go back in the annals of this stuff.
Bro, I fucking feel like, I'm investigating this shit now. But yeah, when did he die?
I'm checking. Hold on. He died in 1992, 32 years ago.
1992?
Yep. So that article I showed you earlier, I might be on the money about who that guy who they think it is now.
She's so fucking cute.
Yeah, and she.
I'm sorry.
and he totally fucked up his marriage because of his obsession. Ain't worth it, dude.
Why does he look like Patrick Dempsey?
I don't know.
He looks like Patrick Dempsey.
And that's the scary shit he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, can you just imagine that, Paul? Like, damn near a whole decade trying to find this guy. Like, can you just imagine from 2014 to now, me and you on a case trying to find this guy?
Oh,
10 years of our lives, bro. I cannot imagine.
I'd be going crazy right now trying to figure this out.
And anytime you feel like you get it, no, it's not him. Like, fuck.
It's just insane. That's just insane right now, man.
Yeah, like I said, we're in 1978. 1978. And this movie started in 69.
68.
Again, 10. Oh, bro, I would lose my shit.
I'd have lost mine a long time ago. Even he's like saying, look, that's it. Back off. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. Grace, just give it up, dude. You're not gonna find this guy.
Oh, another great Jake Gyllenhaal movie, Prisoners. That's another great film.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, him, Hugh Jackman, yeah, and Paul Dano, the Riddler, is in it.
Oh, and let's not forget another one, Southpaw.
I wasn't too crazy about that film. Yeah, but which, by the way, that was Southpaw. I think that was the role Eminem was initially gonna play.
That would have been interesting if he did do it.
Which, by the way, Paul, I don't know if you heard his new album, but his new album, fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I did hear his new album.
It's his best album since Marshmallows LP 2.
That's actually one of my favorite albums he did.
Yeah, but it's his best one since then. Absolutely, it's better than Kamikaze, Music to Be Murdered By. Definitely Revival. Like this is definitely his best work since. The production's great. He sounds focused. There's actually an actual concept behind it. It's definitely one of his stronger projects. Yeah, Death of Slim Shady. It's a great album.
Yeah. And I even heard that one of the songs is actually a sequel to Guilty Conscience.
It is. Yep.
Any good?
Oh, it's great. The whole album's great.
Oh, I'm gonna have to see if I can get it on. Have a listen to it on Amazon Prime tomorrow while I'm getting ready for my next gig. The fuck? He's still man. Robert Downey Jr. is now using an oxygen tank to breathe because he just can't stop chain smoking.
You know, also go crazy. Apparently, Robert Downey Jr.'s character, the real life person, was actually sick around this time, but he didn't die till around the 90s.
Yeah, I did read about that. I was just reading.
That's the crazy part.
That is just wild, man. Yeah, his character was Paul Avery.
Paul Avery, that's right.
He died in 2000.
God damn!
He was only 66. So if he was alive today, he would have been 90-something. Whatever happened to him?
They say I need to know who he is. I need to look. Yeah, he says it right there. I need to know.
It ain't worth your marriage, bro. You got a funny way of showing it, bub.
Because nobody else will.
You know why nobody else will?
And you know what? And keep waiting. I gotta look from her perspective. Like they've been married they got kids at this point now. She's been dealing with this with him from the jump.
Yeah.
Like I
And
totally understand her frustration.
yeah, and then excuse me, I'm yawning. Then she just reached the point
Like
where she
bored.
just like, no, I'm tired, dude. I'm tired. Remember, I have been in the fucking mosh pit taking photos and headbanging like a motherfucker. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna do it all again tomorrow. It's like nearly 2:30 in the morning right now where I am, so it's like I don't know how I'm doing it right now. I mean, in my younger days, I'd be able to stay up till fucking all day and night, but when you're 40 years old, your mind's like saying, "Yeah, I can still do it," but your body's like, "Fuck off, go to bed." You'll find out in 10 years' time, dude. Trust me.
Trust me, I'm gonna take my sweet ass time.
Hey, enjoy the youth while you can. Oh man, that almost looks like my apartment.
That is wild. You're in 1978 saying a movie from the 30s is a classic.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, right? And I think the original Thing movie came out in the 50s. Yeah, it did. And then, well, it's 1979. We all know what came out 3 years later. And this was a year after Halloween. Think about that too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, those old film reels.
Oh, jeez. Back in the day when films were done as films, everything's all digital now. It's all on an SD card, which makes it easier, but making a film back then, you got to be splicing film tape and editing, cutting and mixing and all that. I don't know how they did it back then. But yeah, back to Paul Avery, the character that Downey Jr. was playing. The reason he died was because he
Wait,
started.
hang on.
Wait.
Oh shit!
What?
How freaked out! I would be so freaked out with by him saying that. Like, no, that's my handwriting. If I'm Grace Smith, I'm like, oh fuck, now he's on to me. They say, oh, it's in the basement. Oh fuck, I'd be look at your whole face.
I'm punching him out.
because now he thinks David Fincher does a really good job here and making you think, oh, could he be the killer?
It makes you wonder.
It makes you wonder. We know it's not, obviously, but
No.
this is to create tension because it makes you think, oh, it could be him.
Am I the only one that finds it odd to have a phone in the basement?
I've seen phones in basements before.
That's the first time for me. Oh, I'm sorry, but when I look at this basement, I'm thinking like slasher movies right now. I'm thinking Evil Dead right now at this point.
Yeah, it's amazing that David Fincher has never done he's never done a horror film. I think he would be great at it, but he probably doesn't want to, which is fine.
Well, you may not believe this, but he was initially gonna do a sequel to World War Z. They had him on board.
David Fincher. I would like to. A David Fincher directed Halloween film would be interesting.
Maybe they should have got him to do the Blumhouse trilogy.
Ah, here you go.
You know I'm not gonna let this go, man. I just can't do it. I'm almost as bad as this dude when it comes to the Zodiac. But no, back to what I was saying.
He's getting the fuck out of it. I don't blame him, man.
Yeah,
fuck!
The fuck? But yeah, as I was saying, David Fincher was going to direct that zombie sequel to World War Z, so he was going to do a horror film, but the movie got shit canned because of budget issues. But can you imagine if he did get a chance to take the reins to do a zombie film? Fuck.
It'd be interesting. It would definitely be interesting. Like I said, a David Fincher horror film, sounds like I would watch that. Now, of course, David Fincher's not gonna do no regular slasher film. He's above that. But like something like like I would like to see a Halloween film under David Fincher's vision. It'd be interesting to see.
Imagine if he did a reboot of Phantasm.
The wife and kids are gone.
Yep, they're out. I can see the note on the phone.
Damn. That sucks. But she warned him. She warned him.
Was it worth it, dude?
There she is.
There you go.
Yeah, there's your girl.
Yep, there she is.
This is like 9 years after The Faculty. Because Faculty came out in 1998.
Yeah, 9 years. Yeah.
Yeah, she still looks the same.
Well, she's like 46 now. Damn.
Yeah, she aged really well.
Oh yeah, she looks pretty good, man. I ain't gonna hold you up on that one.
Jake Gyllenhaal's at the female prison.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there's this one show I watch. It's called Mayor. I think like Mayor of Kingstown, something like that. And there's a storyline in the show where a male prison guard is there, and then all the women inmates are like flirting with him whatsoever. And then the one lady warns them, like, listen, don't let the fat day woman fool you. They just as deadly as the men criminals.
No shit.
They'll stab you in the neck in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, that too. Well, I'll tell you what, you want to see a cool prison drama involving the female prison. There's this Australian one called Wentworth Prison. That's fucking good, that is.
Wait. This is where she says it. It wasn't Rick. Yeah, it's not Rick.
Busted. And now we're back to Arthur Lee again. This dude's obsession has cost him everything.
And to this very day, this man is 80 fucking years old. He taking that to the grave.
Unbelievable.
Like, I cannot imagine that, bro. But imagine some fucking journalist for like 40, 50 years telling you, it's him! It's you!
You know what I'd be saying to him at that point? Go get some sleep. Unbelievable, bro.
Hang
Look at
on.
his eyes. God damn it.
Oh, he's full on obsessed. Like look what he's done to his apartment.
Oh my god. I bet his apartment is still like that. Dude, give it the fuck up. Your imagination. I can't believe this dude, man. He is.
That's what happened. That's how it be. That's how it be. Especially when you're emotionally investigating and emotionally invested into a case. It's how it be. Like I've heard that this happens. Like this happens to cops sometimes.
Yeah, remember that cop that Danny Glover played in the first Saw movie? Remember how obsessed he became with that one?
It ruined his life. Yeah.
Straight up. Oh man. And this is why I'm not a cop, because I would get too invested. And I'd be worse if I was a politician.
Oh shit.
Trust me, some of the things I would do to piss the fucking rich ones off, I'd probably end up being assassinated. California license.
Yep, there you Arthur Lee Allen. Yep.
Oh my.
And again, it's crazy because the evidence point right to him.
But he doesn't
That's
have the DNA
crazy
profile.
part. It points to him, man. And it does. If you look at the evidence, it points right to him.
Evidence is there, but the DNA proof ain't.
Look at him.
Seriously, at this point, I'm telling them to fuck off.
Chad, Ruffles like, oh shit.
His fucking eyes, dude.
No, but listen to what he's saying. Like, it makes sense. It adds up. It adds up. That's the crazy part.
This guy got away by pure coincidence. Excuse me.
This 1975. Yep, 1975 he was arrested. Yep.
That was 50 years ago. 49 years ago now.
Yeah, just a lot of strange shit with Arthur Lee Allen in this case. Just some very strange fucking coincidences.
Probably the most unluckiest person on the planet.
What's that? What's that? And apparently, when he died, again, that's when the letters stopped. And you know what? And you know what's that quote, Paul? If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. It's a duck. If there's smoke, there's fire.
Yep.
Not saying that he did do it. Now, if there's anyone in the Arthur Lee family that happens to watch this, I'm not saying he did do it. I'm just saying it just looks weird. It's a weird coincidence.
It's very weird that how when he passed away, everything stopped.
everything stopped. When he went to jail, everything stopped. And when he comes out, it starts back up.
I don't get it.
It's weird.
I don't get it, and I probably never will. Dude, have you seen how wide-eyed Jake is right now? It looks like he hasn't slept.
You can tell. You can tell he hasn't slept. You can tell he hasn't slept.
This dude.
And when it comes to playing those like manic, obsessed roles, Jake Gyllenhaal is really good at it. I mean, he does it in Nightcrawler.
Oh, dude, his performance in Nightcrawler was cool, and that's actually one of my favorite films he was in.
But that scene when he just rages in the mirror is fucking crazy.
Oh, he just loses it. Just
yeah, that's me every time. Yeah. That's me every time I gotta go to work.
Oh, that's me when I get some news that I'm not happy with. Well, let's say like I don't know, a movie's been delayed, and
they just said the letter stopped when he's arrested, and we didn't get another letter from the Zodiac from the entire time he was in jail. August 1977. He comes out there again. It's weird. It's weird.
It's just this one big fucking coincidence.
I totally understand Robert Graysmith's. I totally get why he feels the way he feels. I'll probably feel the same way too. Like, motherfucker, it's him. It's you.
I know, but again, it goes back.
But again, DNA.
Yeah, the DNA does not match.
It's kind of like with the O.J. Simpson thing, which we went to get. His DNA was all over the goddamn crime scene.
Yeah, and yet somehow he got away with that.
Oh, well, Paul, I mean, we know why. We don't have to say it, but we know why he got off.
Yeah, he has a lawyer called Johnny Cochran.
Well, that too, and the whole, racial element, potential riots. Like, we all know why.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, but come on, like if you really look into that shit, like it's so fucking obvious. OJ did that shit. Fuck OJ. I don't give a fuck. He's dead. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. He's where he belongs right now.
I'll never forget. There was one video I saw. Just how insensitive that dude was, bro. Where he was like mocking, like. You probably saw this video too, where he was like playing a prank on this one news reporter, and then like she opened the door. He opens the door. He opens. He's like playing the psycho music and using a banana as a knife.
Yeah, I remember that fucking video. Yeah, I remember that one.
I'm just like, how insensitive, bro.
How can he be
He's
such a
mocking. He's mocking the Brown family.
Yeah. And he had to be an absolute fucking prick about it.
Also another case that really disturbed me, the John Benet Ramsey. Oh. That one really is fucked up.
Yeah, that's a fucked up one too.
And it's like, I swear to God, that wasn't such a rich family. But I'm like, bro, oh yes, I'm gonna leave this little girl in the basement. I'm just gonna so happen to write this 3-page long ransom note, and like which happens to be in the house. And I was like, well, come the fuck on, bro. And then you got people saying that, that John Benet Ramsey's, that's her handwriting. That's John Benet Ramsey's mother's handwriting there. Like, bro, come the fuck. We all know what went down with that shit.
Yeah, really. Oh,
that
no.
Poor
Here we go
girl.
again. Look at this fucking guy.
Again, he could be innocent. He could be not. But just something. And the stare down. Yeah. I remember this ending. Yep.
And I just read the years where it said 1980. So this is like 3 years
1980.
3 years later, and I end up existing.
7.5 years later, 1991.
I was 7 then.
I still wasn't born yet.
Not for another 2 years.
Yep, there's the book. Yep, there's Robert Rizzo's book, his Zodiac book.
I've actually read that book. Oh, my throat. Who the heck? He almost looks like that guy from Blue Steel now.
Yep, that's the guy from the beginning of the movie. Yep.
Oh, the Survivor, yeah. And like I said earlier, the film producers had to track the real life version of this guy just so they can get him on the film. It's not really him, but you get the idea. You can tell he's not been the same since that happened.
Wait, watch what happens.
Okay.
Points him out.
Boom.
He points him out.
Yeah, he points him out. Everybody's all saying the same thing, but again, his fucking DNA doesn't match.
On a scale from 1 to 10, tell me, Paz, how sure are you? I think he says 8.
80%.
At least an 8. That's pretty damn sure.
There's no denying that.
It's July 4th, 1969.
So this was 30 years, almost 30 years. Following Mike Miguel's identification of Arthur Lee Allen, authorities scheduled to meet him, but he suffered a fatal heart attack before this meeting could take place.
That is wild.
2002 partial DNA profile did not match. Today, the case remains open. Is still the prime and only suspect. How can he be the suspect if he's dead?
The case remains open.
He retired, but he died in 2018, that detective has. Yeah, like I said, Paul passed away 24 years ago. And Robert is still
claims he has not received a single anonymous phone call since Allen's death. So the phone calls stop once Allen dies. I'm telling you, man, that's weird.
That's some fucking coincidence if you ever ask me.
Yeah, folks, that was Zodiac. What a great movie. Great fucking movie. Paul, this is your second time seeing this. Go ahead and give your thoughts.
Again, this movie still keeps me guessing, and I'm still intrigued by the whole Zodiac killer thing. But that aside, I thought the film was phenomenal. I mean, like, everything was so accurately pieced together. You had the actors involved all put on just a solid cast and performances, man. I mean, excuse me. There's not a single bad actor in this movie. I mean, everybody all did well in this, and the story worked out great, and just the way it was just done, like, it had us guessing from start to finish. Like, it got to the point where even me and James right now, while we're watching the fucking movie, got to the point where we were discussing our theories and throwing our 2 cents into the whole thing. And it makes you wonder. Like you think to yourself, man, was it really that guy that passed away that did the Zodiac killers? But how can it be though if his DNA doesn't match? I don't get it, dude, and I probably never will. But man, I don't want to be obsessed over the Zodiac killer. Otherwise, I'm gonna end up getting obsessed with fucking Robert Grayson. But all in all, man, this was a very good movie biopic. Hats off to David Fincher. Hats off to everybody involved in the performances and putting this film together. To this day, still a classic. Where did that drink gas come from? I'm gonna give this. I'll give it 9 out of 10. This was a very good film, and had us get from start to finish.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just a great film, especially if you're in, these type of films, like that investigative, putting the puzzle pieces together. Like I love shit like that. Again, if you gotta be into it, it's gonna be some that may find it boring, which I completely understand. I just love this film. I think Jake Gyllenhaal gives a great performance. I think Robert Downey Jr. gives a great performance. Mark Ruffalo's fantastic. The whole cast did fantastic. The direction by David Fincher is just on point. The cinematography is on point. And I'm sorry, Paul. I mean, the movie's 2.5 hours long, but it kind of flew by to me. I didn't feel it. Did you?
No, I didn't either. Like I said, this movie was 2.5 hours, but I never lost interest.
I never lost interest either, and which is very hard to do. But yeah, I could definitely agree when people say this is their favorite David Fincher film. I may put fuck it. I may put 7, just a little bit more above this. But this is definitely one of his best works, absolutely bar none. Yeah, it's a damn great film. I highly recommend this. Not for everybody. It may be frustrating because we never get like a true ending to the film, conclusion to the film. But it's still really good.
And like
again, I just find it just a very odd coincidence when it comes to Arthur Lee Allen, man. It's just weird. It's weird. It's just weird. Again, not accusing him of this. It just looks funny. That's all.
I know, right? But hey, let's not get too obsessed over it. Oh, we're gonna going crazy.
Yeah, for sure. But where I would rate it, I would give this a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, man. It's a really, really, really dope film, and 2 thumbs up to everybody involved. It's a really, really good movie. Shit. Oh, and really quick, before we get to what we're gonna watch next, will you be available, Paul, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday, I'm gonna be in London for my audition, but I'm pretty sure I can do Wednesday. What you got in mind?
Okay, because of my new work schedule, I'm gonna be in a position where on Fridays, I may be working in the during those times, but I know I'm off Tuesday, Wednesday. So I got those 2 days open where we can do our next Gorehound show.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Okay, cool. So cool to know. All right. In that case, Paul, what will we watch? What will we be? What will we be watching on PrimeTime Gorehounds episode 95?
Well, episode 95, we're going to be stepping into a post-apocalyptic world, but this is going to be, even though it's the 5th movie in the series, it's a spin-off and a prequel that led to the event. Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. What have you got?
That's a good question. What do I got? Give me a second. I literally just had it in my goddamn hand. Um. Oh, okay. All right. So, Furiosa, you said is it the next one we're gonna be watching?
Yep.
All right. And so, the next movie, my next pick, will be. This actually should be a fun one. We're going back into a horror franchise.
Oh.
Um, we are going to watch. I would probably say. Shit, I could probably say it's the best sequel in this franchise.
Oh. What could this be?
Because 3 is a 4 is a yeah. Shit, I think this really is the best sequel in this franchise. Um, we only did the first film, and we haven't done one since. So I figure it's time.
Oh,
And
I know what this is. He's on my
okay,
arm.
okay, yes, and yes. So episode 95. We will be watching. Wait, let me make sure. Yes, we will be watching. Child's Play 2.
Sorry, Jack. Chucky's back. All right, we're down for that.
Hey, that rhymed. Braced.
That was the
but
tagline
yes,
for the poster.
but yes. Child's Play 2. You haven't seen that one. I haven't seen it. God, maybe 6-7 years since I watched it.
Man,
But yeah, I could definitely say, yeah. Can you agree that it is the best sequel?
I am not going to argue that for 1 second. It's actually a pretty decent sequel, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think my second favorite sequel after that is, man, it's a coin toss between Bride and Curse.
Okay, okay.
But
Yeah,
part 2,
because
hands down, best one.
yeah. 2, I find it enjoyable. 3, 4 is when things just go downhill. Not cold. What was it? It was Bride,
Seed
then
of Chucky.
Seed. Oh, Seed
Yeah.
of Chucky. Jesus fucking Christ. 4 is where they got off the cliff. Seed is where it crashed.
But I will say that Curse is kind of what brought it back to its roots again. A lot of people say that.
Did it though? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. And then we got this new era Chucky. We got the TV show, and I fucking hate that show. You know this, Paul.
Listen, I don't mind. I think the TV show is good. I mean, okay, some of the bits are a bit questionable, fair enough, but I do enjoy it for what it is and what they try to do with Chucky.
That's fine. That is great. There's just certain shit that I should not be seeing on my TV screen.
I know, but hey, this is that day and age, man.
Oh shit. But yes. Child's Play 2 when Alex Vincent comes back. Yeah, he's the only one from the first film that comes back in that. Besides Brad Dourif, of course.
Oh yeah, Brad Dourif, who's now he's semi-retired now. He's only doing roles if it's involving Chucky.
Hey, don't blame him. Don't blame him.
He's had a good run.
Yeah, but Child's Play 2 is when he's like in his absolute prime. So definitely looking forward to that. And of course, looking forward to watching Furiosa, the Mad Max film. Hopefully it's good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, it's got a lot of. It has got some good reviews. I mean, okay, it's not quite as epic as Fury Road, but a lot of people say it is a decent entry into the series. So I can't argue that. I've not seen it myself yet, but it's going to be exciting to see.
All right, cool. And you know, Paul, I think after this, I'm gonna go watch Longlegs.
Oh, you know what? It's funny. That's going to be released in the cinema here in a couple of weeks, and I'm actually planning to go see it.
Yeah, it's been released. It's been released today. So I think I ain't got nothing else better to do tonight. So I can just run on down to Lilith. Like the movie theater, I'm telling you, it's literally just 5 minutes away from me, bro. I could walk there if I wanted to. But
I'm only 5 minutes away from the cinema too. Like, I live on the coastal area. All I gotta do is just walk 10, 15 minutes into town, and I've got like 2 big cinemas here.
nice. All right, Paul. Go ahead and tell the folks. Yeah, it's probably 2 o'clock in the morning over there, ain't it?
No, it's gonna be 3 o'clock in the morning in about 2 minutes.
All right, well let's get you on out of here. All right, tell where they can find you.
All right, man. You can find me on Facebook, Paul Burt's Photography Corner. I also got a horror group on there called Support Indie Horror. We are now nearing 9,000 members in the group after 14 years. And you can also find me on Twitch, Gorehound 1983. And of course, if you're on Blue Sky, you'll find me on there too.
All right, cool. And of course, you can find me over at PrimeTime James Thomas, which is my professional wrestling channel. And of course, you can find me over at the PrimeTime Collective, which is where I talk wrestling related topics. And of course, you can find me here on the PrimeTime Movie Network with Paul Burr talking movie related topics. So be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed tonight's show of us watching Zodiac, which was a great fun time. And we'll see you guys next week for Furiosa. And of course, and for 94 and 95 will be Child's Play 2. So definitely looking forward to that. And we're closing in on 100 episodes. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, we're almost there, dude. And I'm still kind of thinking what episode 100 might be.
I know what 100 is going to be. Wait. So, wait. So, I've gotten all the. Wait.
Yeah. You're the one that's going to be. You're the one that's going to have episode 100. I've got 101, and I can tell you right now, I know what I'm picking for 101.
Okay. Yeah. I do get 100. Okay, because I know exactly which one that I'm going to choose. It's gonna be one that you won't expect from me. But
okay.
But yes, I know exactly what I'm going to do for that. All right, cool, perfect. All right, well, Paul, you're probably tired as shit, so we're going to get you out of here. I am PrimeTime James Thomas here with the Gorehound himself, Paul Burtz. Thank you guys for another episode of PrimeTime Gorehounds, and we will see y'all next Wednesday for Furiosa, and we are out. Have a wonderful night and weekend. Peace.
Laters.